I'm so behind as always, but I really wanted to yap about shows I watched in 2025. So let's just get to it. There will be spoilers. I'm so sorry to Miss Diva. I really wanted to enjoy this, but I couldn't make it past the first episode. I don't think I'll revisit this one anytime soon. Once again, didn't make it past the first episode. I thought it looked like a good concept. I heard some critiques that make me hesitant to give it another chance. When I was putting everything together, I could not for the life of me remember anything about the plot. And when I checked back in Excel, apparently I had watched 5 out of the 8 episodes. I don't remember feeling negatively about it though. I was so excited to watch this. But once again it didn't hook me enough to watch more. This is my fault because I didn't even finish season 1, but I thought I watched enough to continue. For some reason. I made it through 2 episodes. Can we please stop the drunken shenanigans? I feel unsafe. I quit halfway through. I'm not going to finish this. Watched 1 episode to see what it was about. Saw spoilers. Sometimes I watch reactions to series and such, so maybe I will finish this in the future, and maybe not. I don't really remember disliking this, but I did only make it 2 episodes in. I could pick this one back up. I was the same way with their last series. It took me a while to finish it, but once I got into it I was sat. I did watch half of it, but I couldn't stay focused. The underwater scenes looked good. Then and you no thank you. I think this is one that I will finish in the future if I have a moment. I watched 2 episodes that just introduced all the potential love interests. I don't really have much to go on. I would have watched the entire thing if it wasn't for the behind-the-scenes drama. I got so exhausted that I stopped watching and never looked back. I still hope they or some other company does another dating show because I do think it's extremely important. I knew I may not be interested, but I gave it a try anyway. I had a few chuckles, but ultimately I lost interest. I want to see the Ghost series from all the countries. I didn't finish, but I will. I watched this right after I watched the Australian version. I think I'll finish this. But I'll probably have to refresh my memory on it, which is sad because I watched half of it. I do like that they have powers. That's what made me want to watch it in the first place. There's quite a lot going on in this show. I get spoiled on shows so frequently, and the things I've heard I don't really vibe with. I'm going back and forth on whether to finish this or not. So far what I watched, 5 episodes, was fun. There were other shows that caught my attention and I never finished it. I started this at the beginning of 2025 and lost interest. I'm not going to finish it. I was confused, then I thought I understood, then I was confused again, then it ended so. Also, if there are multiple couples, maybe just IDK finish the stories in a way that makes sense. They don't have to be covered equally, they just need to be complete. The acting was good. It was just fine. So episodes were entirely too long. It got toned down a lot, which is fine with me. The kids were adorable. The grandma stood on business. Saturn had to be the girl in BL trope. Will there be a series where Hank's character doesn't piss me off? I am still currently watching this. I'm just way behind. I'm liking it. I think it's weird that Sophie is trying to pursue her cousin even if he is adopted. I'm tired. I stopped watching because I couldn't stand to see this girl suffer anymore. I do plan on continuing. My anxiety made me stop watching this. It's definitely a series I will pick back up. I just can't rate it much higher because I don't know enough of what happened. I'm still behind but invested. Do and Gun have just as much chemistry as Off and Gun, and it's great to watch. I've only just finished episode 5, so I'll see how I rank it in next year's video. Also, if I got pee thrown on me and it got in my mouth, I would quit life. It was so long, but the amount of time they were actually there was short. When I started watching it had already been out for a month, I think, and I completely thought it was over already. I got bored with the setting and sometimes the subtitles made no sense. But they had $3 and a dream. They're trying, there are no dead fish kisses and there was a plot, so I gotta give them a few flowers. First of all, let me say I can deal with bad CGI or whatever else. That doesn't bother me if the story is good. Unfortunately, I didn't vibe with it, especially after Tonkla died. I don't care if it was in the book or worse in the book or anything. If I had been reading the book, I would have DNF'd it right there as well. I kept trying to finish this, especially when I read that there was a bit of GL side couple. I love a queer friend group, but I didn't get to that point. I didn't finish it. Seemed like they ran out of ideas. And I don't know if the high schooler was finally out of high school as the series went on. That was making me very uncomfortable. I like Book and Force, but I just don't like this dynamic in their characters. It's not my cup of tea. Obviously, once they get together, then I'm fine. It should be called Dangerous Everyone. Bonita should have been left alone to just figure out her life away from everyone. But alas, it's a GL. And the girls gotta love. I just like ghosts. I read some reviews after I finished the season that some didn't like it. I enjoyed it a bit, but I'm also not from Australia, so I'm angry. Jane/Elle talked about how upset she was that Hopper was planning to let himself die only to do the same. They brought Callie back just to die. They made Will seem hopeful in the first half just to be re-traumatized into thinking he had to come out to everyone. Like, why was Murray and Vicky there? It should have been a personal moment with his mom or his mom, Jonathan, and close friends. Why was nearly every couple broken up in the epilogue? They killed a bunch of pregnant women or what? The story was just so sad and blah after the first volume. Plus too much telling and not enough showing. I loved the Japanese version. I didn't think it would be that difficult to watch an adaptation. But I really haven't liked most of the Thai remakes except for one so far. I did like Earth and Mix in these roles though. They had me cracking up. I watched this before and completely forgot until I rewatched this season. It definitely had a lot going on compared to the first season. But the editing and plot holes were annoying. You had to find a different video to get all questions answered. Just a random short film I found. I read what it was about and decided to watch it. I thought it was okay and decently well done. The twist was nice. I had to skip a lot to make it through this show. It should have been a DNF, but for some reason I was determined to finish it. I wasn't really endeared by any of the characters. Where is HR? If you were to tell me one of these characters was HR, I'd believe you. Also, I hate when the story makes me not vibe with the WLW, the betrayal. I don't like the age gap thing. Yes, this series shows tropes, but that was kinda already shown with Ayato's friend in a previous season. He can always get out of any situation. That's the premise of the show. So this was pretty funny actually. Rivals, I guess, to lovers. They compete in everything and this has went on for years. And then Shu-E becomes baby girl once they're together. I like the friend groups as well. When I first watched this I didn't realize Shu-E was also speaking Japanese. They had me in the first half, not gonna lie. Chi-Ching red flag obviously, but they made it work, so what can I say? Loved the second couple down. Chi-Ching's father is wild. Everybody playing games or thinking someone is playing games. They need therapy.
No kid help!
Ugh, but love Perth Santa, let's be clear. Why did they write in Yotha and Wa kissing each other? If they wanted to fix something they could have fixed the age gap. I liked that Gun wasn't just a happy-go-lucky one-dimensional character. As always, by the end I do root for them. Honestly, it was fine. I don't think it needed to be 3 episodes. Oh boy, I wish the French was a bit better. I didn't have a problem with the chemistry between the pairings. What I had a problem with is the last few episodes. I wanted to give perfect 10-liners an overall score. As a complete story, I liked how the characters were intertwined. I'm a big fan of ensemble casts. I know some people aren't. To me, it makes the world feel really full. We can see characters move on after college while others are just entering college. I do like reaction channels. One that I'm subbed to was reacting to this, so I watched it again with them. Honestly, I don't think I would have rewatched it otherwise. I hate miscommunication. I was very confused trying to figure out the age of everyone. I don't remember much from it now because it's been so long since I last watched it. I do like that this power runs in the family, but it's just slightly different for each person. Love the fashion. There was quite a lot of kinky stuff going on. As always, I think Inaga could have said he was I and there would be no issues, but that's just me. IDK. It was a very short addition to Old Fashioned Cupcake that I actually hadn't seen before. I found it enjoyable. Very nostalgic. Good reminder of OAEO and Tay before going into I Promised You the Moon. At first I was like, oh, it's goofy, then I was okay with that. What I'm not okay with is Pun doing everything to get his brother to live with him just to go to another realm away from him forever at the end. And for Ramiel to want his family to be all together and do the same as Pun, like what are we even doing? Hated it.
That's not what the fans want to see. That's literally what the fans don't want to see. That's not what they want to see. And that's not what the fans want to see. That's what the fans, I promise you, don't want to see.
I thought it was okay. I do like the depth they attempted to have for Sant and Jay. It was cute. But it definitely could have been better. Also, I don't like teeth stuff personally. They started off strong with season 1, which is the reason I watched all the other seasons. It was just a silly, goofy time. I don't have much to say that hasn't already been said. Toxic relationships. Weird parent stuff. The mafia still continues, I guess. But they make you want the couples to be together. The acting is good, the sets are nice. This would have either been lower or DNF because I was gonna give up. What changed things is the sibling interactions. I love when siblings can talk to one another. The fact that she had a girlfriend. Absolutely loved it. I think everyone did a great job. Winnie Satong's characters change up so much from series to series, and they kill it every time. It was nice to see the Mond and Ryu more mature relationship, but still having issues. I thought Neo and Mint were very cute together. Even though I understand why they did it, I really wanted more of what was going on with the royal family. I'm just curious. I know they said they were locked up and that Gon's character was helping them, but I wanted to see it. Also, Thor was there. Hated it. It's a good movie, but I was so depressed after watching this. I ended up not liking any characters and the other ones were just dead, so GG, I guess. The first few episodes were okay. I think they had good chemistry, but I just lost interest. I heard the character who sexually assaulted Akin gets a redemption arc? Is it while he's in jail? Because if not, very poisonous indeed. Pat was way out of line when Prem was drunk. I wish this would stop being a thing. Pat is a red flag and so is her friend Nam. I wanted her to stop existing in this show along with the What. I did like the actual friends Bao, Tan, Sita and Ticha. Sometimes they could be a little nosy, but they had the girl's best interest in mind. I think the acting was done well. Dunk had me cracking up. He was probably my fave character. I usually start to lose interest towards the end of a series. I took a small break and then binged the end. Seeing Fidel and Bison in jail made sense and I actually appreciated seeing that. Jung Dunk and First Cow had amazing chemistry as always. I am behind, but where I stopped in 2025 I was enjoying it. I said this in a previous vid, but I'll say it again. The fact that Jin and Jerome's families are actually close and these two just over here fighting is so funny. The parents are like, can y'all please be normal for 5 seconds? I hope the ending is good. I'm curious to see where it ranks once it's done. IDK, why it's called this? Who was the ball boy? Did I miss something? Anyway, this was an enjoyable show. The friends were amazing. I need my ghost ship to become a reality. The way Jongwoo was like, yes, I do like Jaiwan, and I shall pursue him. Love that he accepted his feelings fairly quickly. And no dead fish kissing. Matter of fact, I was surprised at how much they did. I binged this immediately after the first season. I don't like miscommunication. I was content with the manager's story. Also, why dead fish kiss? I think their relationship is cute. I love how unserious they are. I checked this out because I was like, oh, it's the guy from A Man Who Defies the World of BL. It was so gripping. I kept wanting to see what was going to happen next. I'm not big on cheating plots, however in this I could be a bit sympathetic. I believe people should just end it if they think they want to cheat, but that's just me, I guess. It's definitely worth the watch. This was a rewatch. It's fun and cute. I love the friendship between Aoki and Hashimoto. This is the only kind of misunderstanding I can tolerate. LOL, that teacher being so homophobic was heartbreaking. I like how they handled it. Let me say this first, yes, Tae is wrong 100%. This is true, and it is also true that Jai abused his position of power just like his teacher did with him. It's a cycle. I'm glad Oaeo put himself first and actually ended it. Another KGL with $1 and a dream. I do look past the limited sets etc. I think the story was okay. I like that they do explain why Seiya is so hot and cold with Hyun but I haven't started season 2 yet. I hope they don't have the characters learn the same lessons over again. I had a blast honestly. I vibed with the songs for the most part. I liked the characters, especially the bond between the hunters. I wanted more backstory, but I'm always like that. This is a rewatch, but when I first watched it was season 1 and 2 together, and I don't even know where I watched it. It's funny, there's lots of BL tropes he's trying to avoid so he won't fall in love. But he did so, lol. Big and Park did great this series. I liked the mind-reading element. It was fun antics all around. I didn't mind the second couple, but I wasn't as invested as I usually am with second couples. They were still nice to watch when they were on screen. Japan and their long titles. Sweet feel-good story. It was adorable. I'm glad I watched it. Both friend groups were amazing. It was just funny because everyone looked like they were in their 20s, but that's okay, the series was done well. I say this every time I mention Chris Singto, but I haven't seen Sotis. This is my first time seeing them together. They are so natural with each other. I'm glad the characters were adults with careers and felt that way. Seeing the flashbacks didn't feel out of place and added much needed context to the story. I loved seeing why P ended up the way he was. Good storytelling and acting all around. Can't wait to see their upcoming show. I love how they are more domestic in the movie. Hira finding his confidence again with photography. Kyoe opening up about what he wants. I really do love them so much. They have grown a lot. The kidnapping scene was wild. But like Hira. I liked the side characters. They never felt out of place to me. My girlies. I shouldn't have listened to the naysayers because I had a good time. They were really cute. It definitely had me in my feels. One was just doing her best after her dad died. Community is important in the story. I like how they compromised with one another. Chom's mother annoyed me. I know they tried to explain it in the story, but I was done with how she acted towards Chom and Tunum's relationship. I feel like this would have hit harder if I'd watched it when it was released. I'm just like, you destroy it all. My anxiety was through the roof with White pretending to be black. I'm just like, when is he gonna get caught? I know some people felt something between Black and Todd, and I wish that had happened. First and Gone, the flavor. Overall it was a good show. I didn't think it was terrible. What I was expecting it to be, and what it was were different. They had a lot of good ideas and I think they could have pulled it all off with the time provided. I thought there'd be a bit more political intrigue. They had a lot of characters. That's not something that bothers me. What does bother me is when they don't utilize them well. Like they gave my girl Ava nothing. Everyone is conning everyone. Everyone is trash. Mostly everyone dies. I wanted more with the siblings and their bodyguards. Just because they're evil trash doesn't mean they can't find love. Look at Peem. Fan deserved better. Tirak is a cutie patootie. It's so clear that Fah liked him. Tirak family was the ideal family until it all fell apart. It was so shocking but relatable for some people. When as long as you act the way your parents expect you to act, it's fine. His sister was so great. I loved the friend groups as well. The side couple were side coupling, so I was content with that. Oh, can catch these hands. Love them, love the communication. The plot with the mom needed way more work. Like that trauma lasted years and messed up all the brothers in different ways. Fifa's personality was so relatable. He just wants to be loved, and he was able to receive real love from Wine. Their story is one I'm most likely to rewatch. I'm so glad I watched this. I'm a sucker for the character who seems super confident and popular, having the biggest crush on the character that's just a regular person. It was so cute I binged it. I watched this months after it came out. I heard it was boring, but I gave it a chance anyway. I was entertained the entire time. I thought the walking part was cute and showed how much time they wanted to spend together. I'm happy with the Mars plot for the most part. The love triangle attempt with June didn't land for me. And them trying to be like, oh, the boss lady had their best interest in mind, like, no. Let's not sympathize too much with these companies. Anyway, William S. were cute. My brain just smushes season 1 and 2 together. But they do develop their relationship further. They've been together for so long now. Kyohee tries to understand how Hira thinks. Obviously Hira needs to get out of the fan mentality and idol worship, and just be a boyfriend. Very cute show. Shane and his siblings had very real situations to deal with. I was so sad for them. Both of the parents are trash IDC. There was a reasonable amount of communication. Each couple has very different dynamics. I think high school series will always be important. In 2025 it hadn't finished, but since it took me a while to make this video, it is officially completed. I loved every minute of this. Pon's acting was superb. I love the V and Peach dynamic. Sometimes I don't really like over-the-top characters, but they had the right amount and Peach balanced him out. Good to see Est and William here too. I thought Mock and Rome were super adorable. The playful flirting. I'm glad Plub and Peach got a big family at the end. I'm smiling right now typing this up. This kind of show is right up my alley. It's so unsettling. The main character is a lesbian, I believe. The story doesn't evolve around her identity per se. It's more about the end of the world as she knows it. It gets a bit too real at times and I cried during many of the scenes. I would have liked there to be a character that we also followed who trusted a hive mind relative. I think the juxtaposition would have been nice. I know some of the others do and we see bits and pieces. But I wanted to see how someone's mind works because I would have been very similar to Carol and Manusso's. Can't wait for season 2. The behavior was kinda but I gave them a pass because they were in high school. The reveal that he had feelings for Hira was so good. Yeah, he kept calling Hira creepy, but there were times where Hira was being a creepy stalker. Luckily this is a love story, so Kiyoe doesn't really mind. It took me way too long to actually sit down and watch this. It's so stupid in a good way. I was cracking up. It's very unserious. We love loser queer rep in this house. It was very spooky. I like that the ghost was like, everybody can get it. King got on my nerves. BC, why you jeopardizing a case because of jealousy? And he knows Sing won't react well to that. There was so much with Thup's backstory. Also, I haven't finished it yet, so this is how I feel up to EP 10. The soundtrack really went off too. I never skipped it. I think Pooh and Pavel did great in these roles too. Can't wait for the Grim Lover. I really enjoyed the first season, so I was super excited for this one. I like how they were able to expand on the story. It was intriguing once the contestants showed their true colors. Oh, so good. I ate that up. With a family like this who needs enemies. They stress me out every episode. There were so many plot twists I couldn't keep up. I like mysteries, so this kept me interested. They are amazing actors, and even though it was 14 episodes, it never felt like it was too long. I really thought they'd bromance this. So glad it wasn't. Of course they had the trope of knowing each other from childhood I'm tired of. But I can overlook that. They had amazing chemistry. The characters are incredibly intimate with one another. It shows how much they love each other. I kinda want to spoil the ending since this video does have a spoiler warning, but I won't. I hope more people watch this. Phew, the drama. And I ate that up. It had its moments that were very depressing, like the entire reason May ended up blind. Especially with how that tied to I's friends. Everyone had their flaws. Another series where they met when they were younger. I'm over it, but it's okay, I do understand. The love triangle with the secondary ladies could have just been a throuple, but no one wants me to be happy. The styling was so fun. I like how each of them were different from one another. The plot is so silly. They did learn a lot about how they needed to be better friends to one another. Kinda wished it was longer. Seeking have been killing it from the start. I like the premise. The cute moments were very cute. I like how the story revolves around an academic camp and competition, and how that stress affects the students. Moen genuinely thought he was helping others with his advice, and it backfired on him. The 4 episodes were well utilized. Sad story for Jimmy C again. So was I crying every episode right along with C? Well, yes! Thapfa tries his best for In once he realizes what In is going through. I like how it was slow healing for In because the story treated his trauma seriously. I could have done without the ex-jealousy part if I'm being honest. They did wrap it up pretty fast with In being completely honest with his feelings. Old man Yaoi, even though they aren't even old. It looked into the strict gender roles Japan has with them not even being able to have fun or eat the way they want without having to act like teen girls. I didn't know it was that deep that boys and men are expected to not eat sweet treats. I know it's not everyone and I know it's probably different from area to area. Also once Tagawa thinks he's gonna lose Noze, and decides to confess his feelings. That scene? We love to see it. Everybody shut up, my show is on. Family drama done so well. I love trying to figure out how the pieces fit together when the narrative isn't told linearly. I was wrong so many times, and that's another part that made it so entertaining. I like how we follow different family members for each episode, and it all gets tied together in the end. Obviously I love Shira and Kendra. They mean a lot to me. I also love the sibling interactions, how that's tied to how they were raised and how each of them try to be their own person as they age. I absolutely love Emibani. GMMTV branching out into GL was the best thing to happen to me. I heard how the show changed from the novel, and I'm so glad. The siblings all came together in the end. It warmed my heart. That dad was the absolute worst.
Oh, tomato, tomato, tomato.
Glad the mom finally got her stuff together. Odin Nene. It will forever be a classic. I don't care that it came out in 2023, it's a classic. I will protect all of these characters at all costs. The acting was on point. Cow killed it with the crying scenes as per usual. It broke my heart. Jim's very valid reaction to his trauma, like I too would just close myself off. Li Ming is trying to do what he thinks is best for himself, and not what others expect from him. When getting out of an endless cycle with his ex because familiarity is better than loneliness. So painful and I am in agony. Ugh. The time jump took me all the way out. Definitely wasn't expecting that. All the parents were trash, let's be honest. The hierarchy stuff is a bit much at times. Just because you're older doesn't mean you're always right. And it doesn't mean you deserve more respect than someone who's younger. I felt bad for Du Ho and Ju Yang. They're both just doing their best in a world that hasn't been kind to them. OMG Season 2 will be here before we know it. They're just some teens doing teen stuff obviously. They're trying to learn who they are in the world and who they like. It was a fun watch. The characters were well developed and complicated. It was easy for me to empathize with them, especially because the focus shifted episode to episode. We got to see their motivations. I'm wondering what they'll do for Season 2. Will they shoot it on phones again? LOL. Maybe it's recency bias IDK, but it had me crying so much. It's a great story. The women are great characters as well. Thank goodness. I was so scared. Once Shane and Ilya opened up to one another I was relieved. I have not read the books, so when Scott and Kip appeared in EP3 I was really confused. I vibed with them quickly. I was able to empathize with the characters, and with their individual journeys. So beyond ready for Season 2. Not at all what I was expecting. But I was pleasantly surprised. Like I don't want to spoil too much, but they were wild. If I was Doan I would have wanted to be alone to just find myself after all that. Like no one contact me, I'm going off the grid. Because he also had to deal with coworkers being the worst at times. However, if you're someone who enjoys mess then this is for you. Everyone needs therapy in this show. I need this show to always exist. They really dig deep, sharing their stories with everyone. It really doesn't feel like a dating show to me sometimes. I don't look into the couples or anything like that afterwards, so I hope they're doing well. I hope the Philippines can continue making shows like this, and hopefully they can expand to other queer identities. I know making shows isn't easy, so I'm willing to be patient. Loved every character. I had second couple syndrome with Charnjet. Look Ramfewing. I understand Miss Ma'am, I really do. Period, that's it. The storytelling was amazing. Kung and Namping played Farron and Kem respectively. It's hit or miss for me whether or not I like past life plots, but this was excellently done. I was focused on every past life they showed. Charn and Jet being part of Kem's lives was just nice to see. I was able to learn more about karma too through watching this show. Have you all met my close and personal friends Nomoto and Kasuga? I love them. I love them so much. I love the new characters they introduced as well. I binged both seasons in a short amount of time. Both seasons talk about expectations placed on them by society. Each character had their own struggles, and they're each at a different place in life. The addition of Nagumo and Yako. The ace rep in this show. Love, love, love. No, but for real I became so attached to these characters. I do recommend this. Season 1 is shorter than Season 2. We get to know so much about the characters at the same time they're learning more about themselves. The food concept was well done and fits in with their growth through the seasons. They're so sweet, attentive and loving towards one another. It is a slow burn. I need more from these actresses. I need more from this company. The story was amazing. Cinematography was perfect. I watched it as it was airing, so it was so agonizing waiting week to week. Honestly, it was worth it. Definitely my fave of the year. There were also twists and turns. Since they were in prison, I was very tense the entire time, especially when they encountered the antagonists. Claire does not play when it comes to her people, and Belle
I'ma just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
is willing to do whatever she can for Claire. So much stress watching this. Even so, it's one of my favorite GLs ever. You all should check it out if you have time. Only 8 episodes. Sorry again that my videos are so late. I DK if anyone really cares that they're late, but I do. Let me know your top shows in the comments below.